It has been all over the news. Best Buy is removing physical media from their stores. So I went to 5 different Best Buys to investigate, and this is what I found. This store had the games located in the back corner, and it was pretty barren. You can see the Xbox section here. A lot of empty hangars. This is supposed to be the Xbox physical games section. There's only 3 games, which makes sense, you know, with Game Pass and whatnot. The PlayStation had more games, but as you can see, the aisle is definitely taking up a lot more space than required. I mean, look at all these empty gaps. A few Switch games over here. They got a lot of copies of Mario RPG, just spread out to the side to hide the fact that they don't have a lot of different games. They sell 1-up arcades at all of these. Not a lot of Switch systems. Here's the Switch proper section, and a lot of duplicates. A lot of games just spread out to make it look like they have more than they do, just so they can fill all the space. And this Best Buy actually had a movie aisle, something that you will see going forward that they don't all have. And it was a pretty decent selection. I'm not sure why most of them were down at the bottom there, and it's not really organized very well, but there were quite a few Blu-rays and DVDs in here. So if you wanted to buy some, there were an option at this store. All these stores also have these robust gamer, like keyboard and mouse aisles, headsets, microphones, etc. You can buy Intel processors, Ryzen's, everything you'd need to build a computer you can buy at a Best Buy, which is very cool. This location had a refreshed look and a logo that I had never seen before. They had all sorts of crazy stuff in here, like electric scooters, electric bikes, a huge section dedicated to gaming PCs that the other locations didn't have. And of course this one had video games, kind of lazily put on the shelves here. They sell 1-up arcades. The Switch section was a lot more barren at this one than the last location. Just a lot of placeholder cards, oddly placed in the plastic protection as if they're a real game. Down here I spotted something that I was actually keeping an eye on. I've wanted to get the Sonic Origins collection physically for a while. I've almost pulled the trigger on the PS5 version, but I was holding out for finding it on Switch for a good price because I wasn't going to pay full retail. And $25 spoke to me, so I picked this up. Proof that you can buy a physical video game in Best Buy, at least as of now, who knows in a year. The PS5 section similarly as bombed out as the last store. The Xbox section had almost nothing. This location, however, unlike the last one, did not have a DVD and Blu-ray aisle. You cannot buy a physical movie at this Best Buy. They don't have it. Of course, lots of appliances. Best Buy sells washers, dryers, fridges, all that stuff. This store even had Legos, but no DVDs. They had exercise bikes. This Best Buy had a unique exterior. I kind of like it, the like weird construction look. You got the usual 1-up arcade section, the barren Xbox section, although this one had more titles than the other ones we've seen. The Oculus aisle. There were some people looking at the games here, so I didn't want to like bother them. But you can see here, similar story to the other ones. A little barren. They don't have any Switch consoles for sale, it looks like. The interesting thing about this location is not only does it have a full movie aisle that's actually double-sided, so both sides of this are filled with DVDs and movies, but there's also a new releases standee. I'm not one to buy physical movies, but if you're into that, then hey, go to your Best Buy before they get rid of the section, because some of them still have you covered. This next one was really strange. As soon as you walk in, you can see the entire store, and it's just rows and rows of appliances and almost nothing else. You can see where the home theater section used to be. This is like a Best Buy location that they retrofit to just sell refrigerators for some reason. You got all these empty shelves, and honestly, this looked like I was doing another one of those Sears videos based on how empty these shelves were. What's strange is this store still had the usual number of employees mulling around, so I really wish I could have gotten better footage of this place, but I didn't want to attract any attention. But it's just rows and rows of refrigerators and other appliances, but they sure as hell didn't have any games or movies. Now, it might not be fair to count this location because it's clearly a different thing, but if you type in Best Buy into Google Maps, this place still comes up. Just keep in mind that Best Buy outlet means Best Buy, but we only sell refrigerators. And the last location was probably the most disheveled one of all. It had everything. It had a new release rack, but it wasn't stocked very well. The PlayStation aisle looks okay, but it's when you turn the corner into the Switch and Xbox section. They just have these one-up arcades just in the middle of the aisle, just in everybody's way. They were selling a lone black Xbox Series S, which I didn't even know they made, but this Nintendo section is pathetic. A million copies of Mario RPG spread out to take as much space as possible. You got so many of these cards, which unlike the last time we saw them, aren't in the protective cases. I don't get the point of the cards at all. I would rather just have empty shelf space, honestly. But it's another case of the section just taking up way more room than it needs. And there is a movie aisle, but it's the saddest one yet. Lots of empty spaces, not a huge selection. So if you're wondering if you can still buy games and movies at Best Buy, the answer is probably yes, but sometimes no. For now. Anyway, shout out to the patrons, shout out to Content Free Time for giving me the idea to do this. Shout out to William Robert Lee. Never trust anyone who needs a haircut. Goodbye.